Hello there. Today we are going to take the topic birds. Now, what are birds? Birds are those living beings which have feathers, okay? And they fly with the help of their wings. Now, every day you might have seen some birds around you, like the pigeons, crows, parrots, eagle, hen. Okay, these are the common birds you have seen around you. Now, when you see the bird, you must have noticed the parts of its body. So, let's first discuss the part of the body. Here you can see the bird has a head, two eyes it has got, two wings, one tail, 2 feet and claws. Okay. Now, bird does not have teeth. So, instead of teeth, it has got beak which helps us to eat and even catch the insect. Wings, okay? Wings have feathers which help the bird to fly. Here the tail helps the bird to change the direction when it is flying. And this feet of the bird, this feet which you can see, what it helps it to do? It helps us to grip the branches, okay? With the help of this feet, it grips the branches. Now, grip means to hold the branches. Moving on to the feathers, okay? Feathers, basically the bird has got three type of feathers. First is flight feather. Then it has the down feather. And the third one is the body feather. Now, let us discuss it in detail. A bird's tail and wings, okay, these two, this wing portion and this tail portion, you can see these feathers are large in size, okay. These feathers are basically called the flight feathers because it helps the bird to fly. That's why these are called the flight feathers, and they are proportionately bigger than the other feathers. These feathers help the bird to lift their body, and it even helps it to balance in the flight. And the tail feathers, it helps them to change the direction. Moving on to the down feather. Down feathers are short, soft and fluffy feathers, and they usually grow close to the bird's body. Its main purpose is to keep the bird warm. It keeps the bird warm, okay. Then moving on to the body feathers. Now, body feather, as its name says, they cover the entire body. So, all the feather you can see on the bird's body, it is covered, this whole body is covered with the feathers. So, these body feathers cover this body of the bird, and they are usually present above the down feather, okay. Down feathers are below this body feather, and they are required to give shape to the body. How do the birds fly? Now, see, bird has got many adaptations in a body so that it can fly easily and smoothly. So, let us see what is the first thing which is there in the bird, which is different, okay. It is the shape of the body, okay. So, here the bird is actually streamlined shape. Now, what does streamlined shape is? It is shaped like a boat. And why is it shaped like this? See, what happens when there is a streamlined body? Its beak is pointed and the body is streamlined. So, what happens is, here when the bird is flying, okay, when this bird is flying, what happens? Its pointed beak and the body, okay, it cuts through the air, and this helps it to fly very easily. Second thing is the hollow bones. Now, see, hollow means empty, okay. So, these hollow bones, it make the body light so that it can fly easily for a longer period of time, okay. Then we have strong flight muscles. Now, when we move our hands continuously, we get tired. But here when the bird is flying, you can see this, when this bird is flying, every time it uses its wings, it flaps its wings. Now, flapping means to move up and down. When it is moving its wings up and down, it will get tired very easily. So, it has to have strong flight muscles, okay. It has got strong flight muscles to keep moving in the air. Now, we know that bird uses its flight muscles to move, and how does it fly? By flapping its wing, that is moving its wing up and down. Now, what kind of movement does it take? Okay, so basically birds have two movements, that is upstroke movement and downstroke movement. Now you can see in this picture also the movement of this wing is upward. You can see the wing is up, okay, upward and backward. So when this wing is upward and backward, it is called upstroke, and when the wing is downward, or you can say down, okay, when it is down, that is downward, and forward, the wings are forward, then it is known as downstroke movement. So these two movements help the birds to fly. Now there are some birds which cannot fly. Those birds are called flightless birds. Okay, simple. So these are some examples like ostrich, emu, penguin and kiwi. These are the birds which cannot fly. So that's why they are called as flightless birds. Now let's discuss the beak of the bird. Okay, now first important thing which we have to know is bird does not have teeth, but instead what they have beak to hold and eat their food. Now different birds have different kinds of beak, and why this beak is like that, why it is different. Now here in the picture also you can see the parrot beak is different than the peacock's beak, but why this beak is different? It depends on the kind of food it eats. Okay, now let us discuss the beaks one by one. Now curved beak, this parrot and hornbill, these two birds are there which have this curved beak. Now why do they have this curved beak? Let us see that. Now see, the beak shape is almost like this. Okay, the parrot has got this kind of shape. So now what happens, when what it uses its beak for, it holds the nut here. Okay, the nut is kept here, and then it is easy for it to crack it open. That's why they have this curved beak, so that they can crack the hard nuts and eat them. Moving on to the next beak, that is short, hard and pointed beak. Now the birds which have these kind of beak are sparrow, pigeon and peacock. Now you can see here this beak is short, okay, it is hard and pointed. Now why does it have this short, hard and pointed beak? What happens, these birds usually eat seeds, grains and nuts. So to eat that, easily pick on the seeds and eat. That's why, seed or grains you can say. Next is long and pointed beak. Now this kind of beak is of hummingbird and sunbird. Now see, hummingbird is a very small bird, but see, you can see here in the picture the beak is very long and pointed. So now why this beak is long and pointed? Because they feed on the nectar of the flowers. Okay, so see, how will it get to the nectar? That's why it is very long and pointed. You can see the flower in the picture also, it is very clear how this bird is feeding on the nectar of the flower. Next we have is the beak of eagle, vulture and kite. So these kind of birds are actually called birds of prey. Now why they are called birds of prey? Because they actually eat animals. And what are they prey? Their prey are mice, squirrel and snakes. So what they do, they have very strong, sharp and hooked beak. Here in the picture you can see this beak, it is hooked like this, it is hook in shape. Okay, so this hook, what it does with this hook, it actually tears the flesh. Okay, to tear the flesh, it needs this hook. Now moving on to the birds, woodpecker and hoopie. They have got strong and chisel shaped beak. Now why is it important for them to have the strong and chisel shaped beak? Because actually this woodpecker and hoopie, what they do is they make hole in these trees. Okay, they make this kind of holes in the tree, and what they do, they live in the hole. Their nest is also this hole, and how they feed, they eat the insect inside these holes of the tree. So how will they get to that? For that they have this strong and chisel shaped beak, so that they can make hole and they can take the insect out and eat it. Now moving on, broad and flat beak with small holes on the side. Now we have these two birds, these are duck and goose. Now how do they eat the food? Now you can see here there is hole on its beak. Other birds were not having hole. These birds, duck and goose, they have hole in their beak. Now why? They have actually flat beak, and with they have holes also on the side, 2 holes. Okay, so why do they need the hole? With this hole, what they do when they are searching for insects and small plants in the muddy water, they actually take in some muddy water along with the worm and insects. Okay, so what happens now when it is closed, when it closes its mouth, what happens? All the muddy water, okay, muddy water, it comes out of these holes. It comes out of these holes, and what is remaining? Only small insects remain there for them to eat. So that's why this hole is this hole in the beak is very important. That's why they have got this kind of beak. Next we have is this spoon shaped beak. So the bird name is also spoonbill. Now why this bird is named spoonbill? Okay, you can see this bird is having a very different kind of beak. It almost resembles like a spoon, no? Like this. So why does it have this kind of beak? Why it is in this shape? Now this kind of beak, this spoon shaped beak, helps this bird to gather, okay, collect all the tadpole and the insects from the water. That's why it has got this spoon shaped beak. Next is broad, long and sharp edge beak. Okay, so this kind of beak, you can see in the picture very clearly, this kind of beak is especially the feature of fish eating bird. This bird also, and this bird here which we have here is the pelican, and there are other fish eating birds also which have this kind of beak. Now why do they have this kind of beak? So that they can easily catch the tadpoles, fish and crab and some other water animals. Okay, here you can see how it has caught the fish and how the beak is helping the bird to, so that the fish will not come out of its mouth and it can easily eat that fish. Now let us discuss the different types of feet birds have. Okay, now basically every bird has got how many feet? They have 2 feet, and in every foot, 1 feet has got how many toes? It has got 4 toes, and with all those toes it has got claws. Now let us discuss what are the feet and what are the claws. Okay, so here in the picture you can see this bird is having, this sparrow I am talking about, 1, 2 feet. Here we have 2 feet, and this toes, when we count, this is 1, 2, 3, 4 toes, and along with the toes you can see the sharp nails. So those are the claws. Okay, now every bird has got a different kind of feet. So why they are different? Let us discuss. Now let us first see the perching birds. Now perching birds are which birds? The manna, the crow and the sparrow. So these birds, you might have seen them. Every time what they do, they sit on the high branches or on wires. So this actually, what is this sitting on high branches and trees without falling is called, this is called perching. Okay, that's why. So these birds usually perch. They sit on very high branches and branches of the trees. So these are called perching birds. Now their feet is designed differently. Now let us see how their feet is designed. So their feet is actually having 3 toes. Okay, these 3 toes, they point forward, and 1 toe, this 1 toe is at the back. Okay, this 1 toe is usually at the back, so that they can tightly hold on to the branches. That's why they have got this kind of feet. So all the perching birds, if you notice, that is manna, crow and sparrow, they will have the same kind of feet. Now moving on to the scratching birds. Now why these birds like hen and rooster? Now what is a rooster? Rooster is a male hen. So why these hen and roosters are called scratching birds? Because what they do, they scratch the ground. You might have seen them feeding. When they feed, what they do, they scratch the ground and dig out the insect and worms from the ground. That's why their legs, they have very strong legs with sharp and hard claws. Okay, they have very strong legs to dig the, strong legs, or you can say strong feet to dig and scratch the ground. Next we have is the flesh eating bird. Now flesh eating birds are the birds like eagle and vulture. So how is their feet? You will see that they have very strong, sharp and curved claws. Okay, so why they have these strong, sharp and curved claws? Because see here in the picture you can see they have these very strong, sharp and curved claws, and this helps them to catch their prey like rat, mice, okay, snakes, even that. So what happens now, these curved claws, okay, these curved claws are also known as talons. Next we have the climbing birds. Climbing birds we had discussed earlier also. This is the woodpecker, and where does it live? It lives in the tree and it usually holds on to the tree. So this has got different types of feet, and how it is different, see it has two toes. Here you can see two toes are pointing forward, and at the back also two toes are pointing backwards. So why the toes are like this? So that they can hold on to the tree while climbing, so that they won't fall off. Whereas perching birds, they had three toes in front and one toe at the back. Here the woodpecker has two toes in front and two toes at the back. Now next birds are the swimming birds. Swimming birds, that is the duck and the goose. Now which kind of feet they have? Here you can see, here they have got which kind of feet? They have webbed feet. Now what is webbed feet? Okay, webbed feet they are having. We are saying okay, they have webbed feet. Now what is webbed feet and why? See, when you look at the feet, you have seen a spider's web, right? Spider's web, it has got some structures like this connecting. So here same way this bird, this duck and goose, this is a web, okay, this is the picture of a web. So what is happening here? They have this connection. So same way here you can see in the feet, here the feet are connected by very thin skin. So why are they connected like this? The toes are connected like this, okay, because they act like oars. Okay, these feet, they act like oars, so that they can help the bird to swim in the water. That's why they have got this webbed feet. Now wading birds like crane and heron. So these crane and heron, which kind of in the picture also you can see they have very long feet, long and thin legs they are having. Now why do they have these long and thin legs? And their toes, they are spread out. Now why these birds have these long and thin legs and the toes are also spread out? So that these birds will not sink in the mud in the pond or in the lake, wherever they are standing, because they usually eat the fishes. So they need to go in inside the water. So what will happen in this when there is mud? Because their feet will sink. So prevent them from sinking in the mud, they have very long and thin legs, and their toes are also spread, so that they can walk very they can walk in the muddy water, and they can search the food without getting wet. So this movement of these birds is called wading, and that's why these birds are called wading birds. Now moving on to the topic nest. Okay, so what is a nest? Nest is the home of the birds. And how do the birds make this nest? They use twigs, grass, feather, cotton, pebbles, leaves, and sometimes even mud to make these nests. Now this is very important. A nest is very important for the bird. Why? Because it lays its egg inside this nest, okay, and keeps it safe. And nest will keep them safe from the enemy, the bad weather, okay, and they can easily take care of their little babies inside the nest until they are ready to fly. Now every nest is different. How the bird lives, it makes its nest accordingly. So now let us see different kinds of nest. First we have the nest of a woodpecker. Okay, now woodpecker, what it does, it makes a hole in the tree trunk. Here in the picture you can see this is the nest of a woodpecker. This is the woodpecker bird, and what it does, it makes this hole inside the tree with its beak, and then it lays its eggs there. So you can see the baby birds and the mother bird. Next we have cup-shaped nests. So which birds have cup-shaped nests? Are the sparrow and hummingbird. See, the shape of the nest is like a cup. That's why it is called cup-shaped nest. So these nests are very common, and these nests also protect the baby birds and keep the babies safe. Now we have the nest of an eagle. Okay, now eagle, this eagle's nest has a particular name. What is the name? It is called eyrie. That is EYRIE. We call it as eyrie also. Now what this eagle, where does it make its nest? It makes high on the, either it will make nest on a very high branch of a tree or on rocks. Okay, so these nests are very high up and it is made in the shape of a shallow cup. And what are the materials used? Here the material used are few sticks. It uses some sticks to make the nest. Next we have the weaver bird. Now weaver bird's nest is a woven nest. How does it weave its nest? It uses grass, twig and some leaves to weave its nest, and it uses its beak to weave the nest. Okay, and this nest has got this tunnel opening. You can see in the picture this kind of tunnel opening it has got there, so that the bird from that bottom, from here, this opening is here, from here the bird will enter the nest, and this nest you will find it hanging on a branch of a tree. Next we have the tailor bird. Now tailor bird, why it is given the name tailor? Because what it does, it stitches the leaves together. Here you can see the bird is actually how a tailor stitches clothes, no, by using your thread. Same way this tailor bird, what it does, it uses cotton threads and thread from a spider web to actually stitch these leaves. See here, this is using the leaves and it is stitching from here to here by using those threads. Either it will use cotton threads or the thread from a spider's web. That's why this bird is called tailor bird, and it uses its beak. Again, it uses its beak to stitch the leaves together. Okay. Now next we have the penguin. Now penguin is the bird which lives in very cold places. Okay, and it makes the nest on the ground with some stones and pebbles. Here you can see it is used the stones and the pebbles. Pebbles are also stones which are very round and smooth, and here you can even notice the egg of the bird. So how it has made the nest and how it is protecting the egg. Now we have already discussed the body parts of a bird, then the different feet it have, different beak according to the requirement, and the different kinds of nests. Now let us see how we can take care of the birds. Yes, birds, they take care of themselves, but what can we do to help the birds? Okay, so now let us see a bird bath. We can use a bird bath. Now what is a bird bath? Bird bath is this small container. Okay, small shallow container. The small shallow container which we fill with water for the birds to take bath and to drink. So usually we can keep it during the summer season, summer months, and what will happen, this will help because birds, they have to fly for a long distance to find water to drink or to take bath. So if we put these bird baths in the balconies, lawns and gardens and other places where you can see the birds can come and drink the water and they can cool themselves during that hot summer season. Okay, and along with this we can even put some bird feeder. Now what is bird feeders? Bird feeders are these trays. Here on the picture also you can see that these are the trays in which we can put some food, grains and seed or some breadcrumbs for the birds to come and eat. So these are called the bird feeders. Okay, now here I have some fun facts for you. See, penguin, I already told you that penguin is the only bird that can walk straight up, and it is the only bird that can swim but cannot fly. Now the owls, this is a very unique feature of owl. Owl can move their head completely around to see what is behind them. Every year on 20th March we celebrate the World Sparrow Day. Salim Mozuddin Abdul Ali, you know who this is? He is the Birdman of India and he is the first Indian ornithologist. Now what is ornithologist? It is the person who studies birds. That person is called ornithologist. So we have completed the topic here. I hope this video has helped you understand the topic better.